Hello and welcome everyone. So we are back with our daily current affairs analysis through multiple choice questions. So this analysis will be of 14 July 2020. So let's get started. So the topics that are included in today's analysis are Padmanabhaswamy Temple, Tangam language, Chabahar port, Voluntary National Review Report of 2020, United Nations High Level Political Forum, Chushul, that is a place in India, then NATGRID, that is National Intelligence Grid, then direct seeding of rice, Churachandpur Mao Fault, and at last we will have a discussion on an important verdict of Supreme Court on persons with disabilities. So let's get started with the first question. The Padmanabhaswamy Temple, sometimes seen in the news, belongs to which style of architecture? So the options are Chola, Cheras, Pandyas or Hoysalas. So the correct option will be B, Cheras. Let's look at the explanation. So the Padmanabhaswamy Temple dates back to the 8th century, but the present structure was built in the 18th century by the then Travancore Maharaja Martanda Burma. So the temple was initially made of wood, but later it was constructed with granite. The temple is built in a unique Chera style of architecture, and its main deity is Lord Vishnu, who is found in the Ananta Shayana posture, that is a reclined posture of eternal yoga, or on Adishesha or king of all serpents. Yet Ananta Hoyon mane যেটো আমি টিভিত দেখি দেখো ভগৱান বিষ্ণুৰ যেটো হয়ন মুদ্ৰাটোৰ কথা কোৱা হৈছে, and he is covered by the king of all serpents, that is Adishesha. So then why this is in news? Because recently the Supreme Court of India upheld the right of the Travancore royal family to manage the property of the deity at Sri Padmanabhaswamy Temple in the Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. So moving to the next question, we have the Tangam language, which is marked critically endangered by the UNESCO, is spoken in which state? So the options are Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Arunachal Pradesh or Mizoram. So the correct option will be C, Arunachal Pradesh. Let's see what it is. The Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh has recently released a book titled Tangams, an ethno-linguistic study of the critically endangered group of Arunachal Pradesh. The book has valuable data on endangered oral narratives like ritual songs, lamentation songs, lullabies, and festival songs in Tangam language spoken by the Tangam community, which has reportedly 253 speakers left now. So that's why it is marked as critically endangered by the UNESCO. Tangam people is a little known community within the larger Adi tribe of Arunachal Pradesh. Tangam is an oral language that belongs to the Tani group under the Greater Tibeto-Burman language family. It has been marked critically endangered by the UNESCO World Atlas of Endangered Language in 2009. Consider the following statements with reference to Chabahar port. So it lies at the confluence of the Persian Gulf with the Arabian Sea. India seeks to connect with Central Asia through this port. Then it is a part of China's string of pearls strategy. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 3, or all of the above. So among the given statement, only the second statement is correct. So the correct option will be B, 2 only. Let's look at the explanation. So the Chabahar port is the only oceanic port of Iran and is located on the Gulf of Oman. It lies at the confluence of the Gulf of Oman with the Arabian Sea. Hence the first statement is not correct. Then it is jointly developed by India, Iran and Afghanistan. It opens up a permanent alternative route for trade with Afghanistan and Central Asia by bypassing the route through Pakistan. So India has strategically invested in Chabahar port as it is only 72 km away from the Ghadar port in Pakistan, which has been developed by China under its strategy of string of pearls. So basically through Chabahar port, India seeks to counter China's strategy. So why this Chabahar port is important for India? So India jodi Central Asian country bilagor logot trade koribo laga hoy, India either পাকিস্তান বা আফগানিস্তানৰ মাজেদি ট্ৰেড কৰিব লাগিব কিন্তু ইণ্ডিয়া আৰু আফগানিস্তানে অনলি এপ্ৰক্সিমেটলি 100 কিলোমিটাৰ বৰ্ডাৰ শ্বেয়াৰ কৰে থ্ৰু হুইচ ট্ৰেড ইজ নট পচিবল এতিয়া পাকিস্তানৰ মাজেদিও আমি ট্ৰেড কৰিব নোৱাৰো ডিউ টু সাম ডিপ্লোমেটিক ইস্যুজ সো ৰিসেন্টলি পাকিস্তানে আফগানিস্তানক এলাউ কৰিছে যে তেওঁলোকে ইণ্ডিয়াৰ লগত এক্সপোৰ্ট কৰিব পাৰিব সো থ্ৰু পাকিস্তান তেওঁলোকে ইণ্ডিয়াৰ লগত এক্সপোৰ্ট কৰিব পাৰিব কিন্তু ইণ্ডিয়াৰ হেতু পাৰমিশন দিয়া হোৱা নাই যে ইণ্ডিয়াই পাকিস্তানৰ মাজেদি আফগানিস্তানত এক্সপোৰ্ট কৰিব সো তাত অকল ওৱান মে ট্ৰেড এলাউ কৰা হৈছে সো ইণ্ডিয়াৰ অনলি অপশন টু ৰিচ Central Asia is through Chabahar port. That's why this port is strategically important. Why this is in news? Because of the Chabahar rail project. So in the map you can clearly see the location of Chabahar port. So moving to the next question we have. Consider the following statements with respect to India Voluntary National Report of 2020. It is the first voluntary national review on sustainable development submitted by India. The report is prepared and presented by the Niti Aayog. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or none of the above. So among the given statement, only the second statement is correct. So B is the correct option. So let's look at the explanation. So the Niti Aayog had recently presented India's second voluntary national review report titled Decade of Action, Taking Sustainable Development Goals from Global to Local at the United Nations High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development that is held in 2020. So the PNR presented by member states at the United Nations High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development are a critical component of the review of progress and implementation of the 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. So the process of preparation of a country's VNR provides a platform for partnerships, including through the participation of various relevant stakeholders. So Niti Aayog prepared and presented India's first VNR in 2017. So India's VNR this year has undertaken a paradigm shift in terms of embodying a whole of society approach in letter and spirit. So moving to the next question we have. With respect to the United Nations High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development, consider the following statements. It replaced the Commission on Sustainable Development, which had met annually since 1993. The forum plays a central role in the follow-up and review of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals at the global level. The forum meets annually under the auspices of the Economic and Social Council and every 4 years under the auspices of the General Assembly. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, or all of the above. So all the statements are correct, hence D is the correct option. Let's look at the explanation. So the establishment of the HLPF was mandated in 2012 by the outcome document of the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, that is Rio Plus 20, the future we want. The HLPF is the main United Nations platform on sustainable development and it has a central role in the follow-up and the review of the 2030 Agenda for SDGs at the global level. The forum meets annually under the auspices of Economic and Social Council for 8 days, including a 3-day ministerial segment, and every 4 years at the level of heads of state and the government under the auspicious General Assembly for 2 days. The forum replaced the Commission on Sustainable Development, which had met annually since 1993. So moving to the next question we have. Chushul, sometimes seen in the news recently, share its border with which of the following countries? A. India and China, China and Nepal, China and Bhutan, or none of the above. So it shares its border with India and China. So A is the correct option. Let's look at the explanation. Why this is in news? Because the commander level talks between India and China recently held at Chushul border post in eastern Ladakh. This is the fourth talk between Indian Army and People's Liberation Army of China since June. The army sources said that the talks mainly focused on the second phase of disengagement at the friction point along the line of actual control. So that's it. So moving to the next question we have. So with reference to the National Intelligence Grid, consider the following statements. It is established under the National Security Act. It is an integrated intelligence grid which will connect databases of security agencies and economic institutions. It works under the effective control of the Ministry of Home Affairs. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, or all of the above. So among the given statement, the first statement is not correct. So the correct option will be C, 2 and 3 only. Let's see why. So the National Intelligence Grid or NATGRID was established in 2009 in the wake of Mumbai terrorist attack in 2008 through governmental notifications rather than legislation passed by the Parliament. NATGRID was formed with an aim to collect comprehensive patterns of intelligence that can be readily accessed by intelligence agencies and will link 10 user agencies with certain databases that would be procured from 21 organizations. The project aims to allow investigation and law enforcement agencies to access real-time information from data stored with agencies such as the Income Tax Department, banks, insurance companies, Indian Railways, credit card transactions, and many more. So it works under the aegis of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Hence, only the first statement is not correct. So moving to the next question we have. Which of the following are a potential benefit of direct seeding of rice methodology? Lower labor cost, seeds are never exposed to birds, rats and snails. The plants mature earlier than transplanted rice variety. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or all of the above. So among the given statement, the second statement is not correct. So the correct option will be C, 1 and 3 only. Let's see why. So transplanting after repeated puddling is the conventional method of rice growing, while direct seeding means applying seed directly to the site where plants are wanted. Direct seeding requires less labor. Farmers do not have to prepare a nursery, care for it, and pull the seedlings. In direct seeding, the seeds are exposed to birds, rats, and snails. There is also greater crop width competition because rice plants and wheats are of similar age. Direct seeded plants mature 7 to 10 days earlier than the transplanted rice. They are not subjected to stress like being pulled from the soil of the nursery and do not need to reproduce fine rootlets. So moving to the next question we have. Churachandpur Mao Fault zone is associated with Northeast India region, South China Sea region, Pacific Ring of Fire, Eurasian Convergence Plate. So the correct option will be A, Northeast India region. Let's look at the explanation. So the Churachandpur Mao Fault is named after two places in Manipur and runs north-south into Myanmar along the border of Champhai. Faults are discontinuities or cracks that are the result of differential motion within the Earth's crust. Vertical or lateral slippage of the crust along the faults causes the earthquake. So moving to the next question we have. Consider the following statements. In India, the category of persons with disabilities are also socially backward. They are entitled to the same benefits of relaxation as scheduled caste and scheduled tribes candidates in public employment and education. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, and none of the above. So both the statements are correct. So C is the correct option. Let's look at the explanation. So why this is in news? Because the Supreme Court in a significant decision confirmed that persons with disabilities are also socially backward. The decision highlighted Divyangan are entitled to the same benefits of relaxation as SC and ST candidates in public employment and education. So SC upheld a 2012 judgment of the Delhi High Court in Anamol Bhandari versus Delhi Technology University. So at this we come to the end of this video. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please share it and subscribe to our channel so that you can get timely benefit of our videos. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.